The ego is a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be there to help you survive. But at the same time, you need to know to control the ego and not let the ego control you. Meaning, as everything else, it has benefits, pros and cons. You need to know and choose in which part of the scale you want to be, like the yin and the yang.
Hello and welcome to the Multiple Truths podcast. I'm your host, Natalia. So today we are going to be doing a solo episode with me, and we have a special guest today, Inessa. Welcome. So a little backstory. We're actually currently in Inessa's meditation room in her home. And in regards to how me and Inessa met, just a little backstory. I used to live in the current city where you're at right now in Barrie, Ontario. And I used to go to a gym. And in this gym, I ended up meeting somebody who was like, oh, I have to introduce you to these like protein shakes. Yeah. So there was a store like Body Systems that was like that had protein shakes. They still do. And anyways, I ended up going there. And long story short, that's where I met your son, Gabe, who after like a few times of small talking was like, oh, I have to like introduce you to my mom. And anyways, long story short, here I am 2 years, I think later, and we're still in touch, still like have this beautiful relationship. So anyways, enough about me. I wanted to jump right in and let the audience hear about Inessa. So Inessa, what is your story?
My story is that I was reawakened about 4 years ago to understand that I had this beautiful gift that has never went away from me, was never closed totally from me, where I knew and I had to be realizing that my high level of intuition has been there always, but it kept telling me you need to come back and take the steps for your purpose in life. I will not give you the whole story of my life. I am an immigrant in Canada. I came to Canada 23 years ago from a country called Israel, Middle East. You probably understand that no quiet, no peace. The blockages in life that I went through, just like many other, is social blockages. I remember as a child, my grandmother used to ask me, do you see something? Yes, I see something. But at that moment I answered, because I looked at her and my soul decided, say no. Because back then, when you understand how intelligent your soul is and how in tune you are with your soul, it will tell you at that moment, you're not ready to say yes because the surrounding might not accept it. So I said no at that moment. My whole life, I've been surrounded people who come to me for guidance, ask me questions, and I was always surrounded by this beautiful realm of angels, messages, and in tune with the world, with creation. Never had words to it. Never thought that my esoteric path will bring me so much. So 4 years ago, COVID happened, and I had COVID twice, and every time I had COVID, it was a gift in disguise for me. The first one was a very hard one. I think in that moment, I was questioned by God. Are you gonna break or are you gonna fall? What do I mean? My family and I have not been consuming pharmaceuticals for over 20 years. In my family, it's only natural healing and homeopathy sometimes. And that's how we've been. At that COVID, I had experienced a very strong pneumonia. When my whole family got out of it, I understood that those moments that it's either you're gonna go to the hospital or do something. So I spoke to God and I said, God, if this is my time, I'm ready. If it's not my time, guide everybody around me. I will end up in the hospital. And at that moment, I actually took another herb. It's called golden seal. We call it Mother Nature's antibiotics. And I came out of it. When I came out of it, something opened up to me. Something strong. I was standing by my staircase, and it felt like suddenly my soul came back to my body. Even though it's always been there, it's just the higher consciousness suddenly just came back. I was like, what am I doing here? Yet at the same time, you're asking yourself, but I have been all the time in here. But I feel like I wasn't fully here. And I understood that moment that something called me. And I started going to my workroom every morning at 10 a.m. to meditate. And I did not have any concept of time. None. And when I got out of the room, it was apparently 5-6 p.m. Yes. What happened in between, I was not asleep. I was in a meditative stage, listening to beautiful podcasts and channeling by Cry On by Lee Carroll about old souls. And that spoke to my soul. I knew this is who I am. Something that I haven't been connected to for a long time, even though I knew I'm an old soul since I was a child. People who knows me from earlier age always said, you are such an old soul. I am an old soul. What I've been going through also in those moments, days, years, months in the room, literally I went through a journey to reconnect to my soul. I've seen all my previous lifetimes. I saw visions of the originality of my soul. They showed me so much knowledge of creation. I got reawakened by downloading with so much memories. It doesn't come to you just like that. It comes like a vivid vision, but you're not asleep. You're not asleep. You're in between space. You're not awakened totally. Your eyes are closed, but you're not asleep. And I understood that all that they're showing me, it's actually me, every lifetime. The moment I landed in this beautiful planet we call Earth, as an Amazon, a beautiful soul in those thick, thick forests, looking at the Earth, at everything around, and understanding I'm here. And then, at some point, they took me to a journey to the very, very beginning. And at that very beginning, I was held by a beautiful archangel who showed me our planet. And he told me, that's where you're heading. Yeah, I have goosebumps when I talk about it, because I woke up from that and I was bawling tears. It wasn't tears, it was a river coming out. And I don't usually cry. And I understood. My whole life I've been visited by beautiful angels who come in a physical body, who will come to you for a moment. I've been given gifts out of nowhere, and they will disappear like from a thin air. Just was there and just not there. And in this journey, I've learned a lot. What a quantum leap is, what a time traveling is, and how the angelic realm suddenly changes everything for you. I knew I was aware for it, but it became even more obvious for me to realize it when it's happening. You become an observer of your own life. Yes. And when you shift like that, reality changes. You understand that there's a realm between the realm and inside the realm, inside the realm. And it's like you're shifting from one to another. And it's phenomenal. So this journey started, and I understood that I need some guidance to understand everything I see. And you know how we say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And when you ask, you shall be given. I said, God, guide me, or whoever it is to help me. And I met my friend, my beautiful friend, who I started just blah, 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 blah out of nowhere with a complete stranger. And she told me, go to Monica Sparkling River. And I went for a February 22 portal meditation. That was a 222. And I said, if this is the right place to me, I will know. And I went into a meditation. And the minute I closed my eyes, before she started playing on the singing bowls, a beautiful angel appeared in the bottom of my feet. And this was my sign. It was a beautiful, light, bright entity. And that time, I got a message. It was clear that the most recent life I had here on Earth was an indigenous time. That's why I'm here in Canada. That's why something called me to come here so hard. That was 1898, which was the last one. And before it was 1768. That was something like that. And I came out of it, I'm like, oh my God, I was an indigenous woman. At 80, 98, I was an indigenous man. I had 5 brothers. I guess we all died, but at some point I was a big chief. And they showed me different phases of my life as that person. As a young teenager, and a man in his 20s, and then an older chief. And the life before that, I was actually a healer, a woman with a child. I guess when the big massacre against the indigenous happened, I was killed with my child in my arms. He was about 4 to 5 years old. And I think that in this life, I don't think I have found him. It's hard to sometimes believe in your human mind. But yes, we show up in each other's life not randomly. We remember, but we don't consciously have a concept of understanding that this integration is actually us as souls searching for each other for those memories. And when we awaken, we start understanding and seeing things a little bit differently. It's more obvious for you because you're reawakened to your soul and your memories are coming to you. So that was my journey. So I started doing one-on-one with Monica. That opened a lot to me. I did plant medicine for the first time, integrated with a happy. Guys, I don't smoke pot, I don't drink alcohol, I never done any drugs, and I'm not interested in doing it. But the beauty of plant medicine has opened me and helped me open many other people. You can call it happy, rapes, karunga. And I started meditating with it. I got some for myself, and I started from time to time integrating with it because I understood that I fly a lot and I see visions. My whole life I've been seeing visions. That's why I blocked myself. I see souls before they transfer from this realm, physical, to the other side of the veil. I do believe that somehow I help them transit from here to there. Again, in the physical world, you cannot explain those concepts to those who do not understand. So whoever it resonates with will understand it. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Yes. As a human being, I do not fall for people who has hatred or anger toward people who gives comments. That's why I do not care if people will have a wrong comment right now. Unfortunately, those people are still in their journey and most of them are still healing. Humanity is deeply wounded. And in our reawakening, as call it light warriors, light workers, earth angels, we are here to actually help each other, hold space and compassion, give love to those who are awakening and help them integrate with their soul. Because the awakening first is a big confusion. You're confused. It feels like you're losing your mind. But are you really? I think that in our human life, they conditioned us so badly that our life is actually lost its mind. If you think about it, we don't live from our heart, from who we really are, which is a pure essence of beautiful, loving energy. We are stranded far away from our journey, from our path, from who we are, and we got stuck and caught in this life, running after material, running after everything you can feel, sense with your physical, but not with your soul. Ego. Big thing. It's being born with you and it dies with you. Yes. But your soul is infinite. The ego is a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be there to help you survive. But at the same time, you need to know to control the ego and not let the ego control you. Meaning, as everything else, it has benefits, pros and cons. You need to know and choose in which part of the scale you want to be, like the yin and the yang. The darkness cannot survive without the light cannot survive without the darkness. So I'm going to give you a beautiful example for that. The lighter you shine and the lighter you become, the more shadow you project. Why? Just like the sun. It's sunny, the more sun it is, the bigger your shadow is. Why? Because you can handle it. God will give you what you can handle because He believes in you. You believe in yourself. Now, the shadow, it depends of where you are. It falls on you differently. It can be on your side, then behind you, then on the other side, and then in front of you. In life, the analysis is like that. Your shadow of the beginning is behind you because you're awakened. Then it walks by your side, means you're accepting it. Then it comes in front of you, and that's when you have to deal with it, release it, handle it. And then it will move again to your side when it walks by your side because it's accepted again. Then it's behind you again because you let go and release. And then another one starts, right? Because it's the beauty of being alive. You constantly shine bright and you constantly make shadows. But how the shadow control your life is up to you. So when you walk with your shadow side by side, this is your yin and your yang. But if you don't like it, it will come in front of you because it holds something that you need to release and let go in order to move on for your next endeavor, your next chapter, your next upgrade, your next level up. So you'll have a new one. And you're going to face another one. And you got to face it and release it. Yeah. And when you release it and let go, it doesn't have a hold on you anymore. This is how it is. This is our life. So those beautiful things that we accept as the awakened were part of my journey and yours.
Yes.
And everybody else who come along. I never take credit for anything. I know that I come from my heart. And when I do my affirmations and my gratitude, I always ask God and the archangels, may every word that come out of my mouth will be a word of love. And may every action I take will be an action of love.
We wanted to take a moment to share something special with you. We have been hosting monthly virtual healing seminars. These gatherings are led by us and all about women coming together, supporting each other, and healing in community. All the proceeds we make from these circles go directly to funding this podcast. If you're looking for a meaningful way to support us, we would love to have you join our next virtual healing seminar. Check out the link in the show notes to register now. We truly appreciate your support and love having you as part of our community. Okay, first of all, I have no words. I was sitting here listening and I was getting chills all over my body. It was making me so emotional because your words and it's making me emotional, and the frequency in which you speak in is so full of truth and wisdom, and you can just feel your soul and oh my gosh, how many years you've spent here in the astral. And I just feel it's just such a huge honor to just sit and listen to you. So thank you. Thank you so much for just sitting here and sharing your wisdom. I feel like everybody needs to hear it because you speak from such a genuine and authentic place. And again, authenticity and truth is the highest frequency. So to be able to sit here and listen to your story, your soul, and I'm speechless. And you brought up some amazing parts, and I really want to dive deeper into the shadow because I know a lot of people are having their shadow aspects come through. And the first thing that happens is they get scared. They want to run away. They want to avoid. And this is, again, the ego coming in and, like you said, wanting to protect, wanting to keep you safe. So do you have any recommendations or any ways to kind of ease into the process, or even, and this goes hand in hand with also having a spiritual awakening, how you said it feels like you're losing your mind. It also ties into shadow. Do you have any sort of piece of advice or any sort of words of wisdom for those that are currently going through that?
So in regarding to the path of the awakening for people, it's very individual, but at the same time, why is it important for you to work with the shadow that comes up? Lots of us have been through lots of wounding experiences in life. So in my journey, I've been meeting lots of people that in their process has been going through a lot in life. Some went through physical abuse, molestation. Some went through abuse by their own parents, who are supposed to be the very source you trust the most. But the beauty of all these people that I've met is that their light never turned off. With all those things, I even met 2 people that came from Nigeria. One of them have seen his family being slaughtered in front of his eyes. And he was a lucky one that was picked up as a refugee by Canadian soldiers and brought to Canada to start his life with a bunch of people who are strange to him. But this guy had both of them, the most happy, shining light within them. So seeing all these people and knowing that with all those life obstacles, the light did not shine, you need to understand how much shadow they carry within them. And this is the things in life when you ask God, if I'm here to shine, why did I have to go through all this? It's a big question everybody's asking. Because in order to find your path and walk your destiny, your soul have chosen those life experiences. You know that we are not random. All our soul integrations and physical integration as a soul in this body has been predetermined by our souls because we are a big collective. And we came here and it's like a script. We know every actor what part is playing in each other's life. And we do it because when we end it, we go back and we either create a new scenario with different actors, different parts. We change our parts, but come back again to this realm, might be another realm, another planet, another dimension. But when you understand the concept that your soul is an energy and it keeps going, you stop thinking from your physical body. So regarding the shadow, it's hard for us to take it, but when you learn that it's part of you, you accept it as harsh as it can be. And you love it because all of this is actually who you are here today. That's why it brought you to be here today. To seek for your answers, to find who you are. And when you find it is when you let go. Now, people sometimes when I say release, let go, they look at me, oh, it's easy for you to talk. I don't talk about my background much. But we've all been through some things. There's no people who did not go through some things. Pain of any sort, okay? At the same time, that shadow that you carry, when it becomes part of you, and you accept it, and you love it, this is how you release it. You know it doesn't hold you anymore. It doesn't have a hold anymore on you. You'll create new shadows, and you let go of them also. But it doesn't define you and hold you anymore. It's a very hard process, and I know it's a hard process. But there's a difference between accepting and dwelling in it. Some people who has tendency, I will call it addictive tendencies. Addiction is not necessarily a substance. Sometimes to a certain feeling that make you agonizing yourself over and over and over again. Why do I say agonizing yourself? Because the way you feel and how you choose to feel and react to a certain thing, it's your own decision. You decide in the morning when you woke up to this beautiful retrograde and then just also dance, how am I going to be today? I'm going to let it beat me down. I'm going to change something and I'm going to vibrate higher to something happy. So today I woke up with a beautiful song by George Michael, like Jesus to a Child. It's one of my favorite. It's about love. I love music. And many channels sometimes come to me by music, a line from music. Just speaks to me like that. So music has vibration. That's why I don't listen to most of the music we have nowadays. A very low vibration. I can't handle it. I love the waltz, the classics. I love the music of the 80s and the 90s when people did not swear. They spoke about love. They spoke about relationships in a song that had meaning. All of it had big, beautiful meanings. So change the vibration. You change your vibration, you actually change the way you feel. And you move on from it. Well, I want to say, and I want to really talk about love. It's a big concept that most of people have the wrong idea about it. Love is that beautiful hugging energy that dwells within you and being reflected from you to everybody else. You need to understand that everything is a rippling effect. Every emotions, every feeling, every thought you have has a rippling effect. That's what we always say. When you come from love, your thought will be always positive. always positive. And when we say love, we're talking about loving everybody that comes in your path, because you understand that they came to you in your path, whatever is bad or wrong, whatever, bad and good does not exist. It's experiences. And this is an agreement you've made before you've met each other in this physical body. And they came to you as a teacher, both sides of the scale. You can call it good and bad. It's up to you how you take it. When you learn to observe your life, observe it from this side. You determine, okay, as bad as it was, I've learned from it. Yes. That was interesting because I did not react this time like I used to react to the past from the ego. I'm like, okay, and I chose to be silent. Like, okay. Because when I chose to be silent to somebody who came with aggression, what I did not do, I did not give it energy. And it did not get stuck on me. So I did not pass it on.
Yes. Wow, I love that.
So when you learn to control it and know that, okay, you don't have to take everything that comes on you and let it get stuck to you. Because you don't react to it anymore.
Like it's your choice if you give it power, if you attach it to your worth, to how it affects you.
But again, it's the ego that chooses, right? Yes. When you learn to control the ego, you learn to control your feelings, your reactions to things, to people, to everything around you. Trust me, I'm a work in process myself.
We all are.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. You see, I see my house as a mess. People say, what are you talking about? It's so clean. I'm like, no, it's a mess. Today I woke up, I'm like, you know what? Ask everything, because it's not a mess. I have a beautiful house. I have 4 boys walking around and a dog. It's always noisy. And I'm like, I'm loving it. It's full of life and full of love.
Yes.
And once a week when we have our meditation, it's full of people and full of energy of love, and people don't judge each other. We come from different backgrounds, different everything, and we got together in this group of people, and we're here to work on ourselves and share our space and our love with each other energetically. So when they're in deep meditation, I help move the energies and do the healing while they are down in deep meditation. Their soul are integrating. And when the souls are integrating, it's way beyond and above all physical concepts. Because we are all one. When they talk about the Big Bang Theory, it's not something that happened in space. It's us. It's God. God created all of it, here and there. You were part of God. I don't go into religion, but the religion has some truths in it. And you're going to feel it in your heart if it resonates with your soul or not. Then God, after He created in the 6 days, the earth, the sky, and everything, He decided to create a human, the first man, which was both-sided, a female and a male. We were one body. Then He split us into 2. So the Big Bang was when God decided to split His soul into many, many particles, which are all of us nowadays. So you have a spark of God within you. You know, we as humans have a law that comes to us specifically and being respected by all entities out there. It's the freedom of choice.
Free will, yes.
Free will. You choose and they have to respect. So if you want to communicate with the angelic beings, they will. If you decide to communicate with the dark side shadows, which is also God's creation, it's your choice. But it's up to you and they will respect it. So when you meditate, sometimes you see shadows which you don't like. And you can tell them, I come from the light, I am with the light, I am the light, and I communicate and channel and connect only with the light beings and beings of light. And if you're not from the light, please leave, you're not welcome. They will leave. They have to respect it. Now, why are we as human have that free will? And even the angels have to respect it. Because our soul is the direct God within this body. We are the highest beings in those human bodies. We are a pure energy, pure light of the creators in this human body. And we are all one. We're already in the path of understanding because the waves are coming. Everybody spoke about Dolores Cannon, the crayon. Take so many human they're talking about the same concept of the awakening time that comes in waves. Some awaken earlier, some awakens a little bit later. Some will come awakening after the big eclipse. It's coming.
It's all coming.
It's keep coming, guys. It's keep coming. And we are awakened to the understanding that, oh my God, there's something within me that I'm suddenly realizing I'm confused. I'm going to this up and down emotionally. I feel suddenly everything that the world has. So you have the sadness, and then you have the happiness, profound happiness and pain. So you feel all the emotions at once, everything at once. I've been experiencing that with the meditators that come here, that when they suddenly open up, they feel this beautiful everything at the same time, everything. So the awakening process is just a very beautiful process. And every time you go forward and forward, and there's so many books, so many tools, so many that can help you. There's so many of us nowadays that we ever had before. And we keep coming up and keep coming up and keep coming up. Why? Because we are starting to awaken. And when we heal ourselves, we actually heal the collective. When we awaken to our abilities, we are awakening something within the collective. So whether you want it or not, you can fight it and fight it and fight it, you will awaken. Because those who will not awaken, unfortunately, with time, will find that, again, it's a soul decision to leave this world, to leave this physical body. So you move from a physical to back to energetic. It's funny only how yesterday I was talking with my father, who's 87 years old. And I've been telling him, because he had the problem to grasp the fact that I see my mother a lot, I feel her presence a lot, even though she's been not in the physical body for almost 10 years. And I told him, we never leave. Literally, we never leave. We just change condition. When we let go of the body, we are free to soar. But can you imagine if you can be free to soar in your physical body? Which in a way is what you call the godly full experience in the physical body. And in order to be able to do that, we need to remove all beliefs that got indoctrinated and rooted in us in order to prevent us from having our wings widely open and soar the way we're meant to soar. Yes. So love has no rules, there's no boundaries, it's just love. Yes. There is no right, there is no wrong, there's only love.
I was getting chills and I was like, I love the fact that you brought it back to love, because there is nothing greater. It all comes back to love. Again, you're going to see the lens of the world through which you see yourself. So the more that you're able to pour that love into you, into accepting yourself and loving yourself unconditionally, then you will be able to see the world that way and the people around you and the situations. And I also just love how you brought up the importance of understanding that everything that has happened in your life has happened because your soul chose to integrate these lessons to learn. It was a choice. And also the importance of becoming an observer of your emotions and of what's happening and not attaching yourself. Again, I'm talking about attachment because like when you attach yourself to the opinions of others or to the things that have happened to you, it's detrimental to you, to how you view yourself, and it like keeps you in that lower vibration. So it's important to free yourself, like you said, free yourself, let the love in, let yourself be loved and accepted, and then you'll see like there's magic all around you all the time. So thank you.
You know how sometimes people say, yeah, my life is crap. My life is crap. You know one thing about crap? We use it as a fertilizer. So think about it. Okay? What's crap in your concept is actually a great fertilizer for the land. Yes. And that blooms flowers. Beautiful. And the best products. So think about it as that way.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. First of all, that was incredible. I actually posted on my story, I think yesterday, it was like every level of pain that you go through is for a new level of you. And I heard it because this beautiful woman was talking about it on TikTok. And I'm like, that's exactly it. Okay, well, we are here in your meditation room. So before we wrap up this episode, I would love for you to dive deeper into what you do here, how your meditations look like, and also where our listeners can find you.
So what I'm doing here in the meditations is we start with integrations when we get together, talk, get the words out of the system, And then we go into breath work. If there's a message channel coming in, I will bring the message out. And from breath work, we go into a meditation. Sometimes we do plant medicine, whoever wants it. It's not a must. Some choose to, some choose not, because when you do the breath work, you're already ready to soar without anything else. And if you want the extra mile, you ask to do some plant medicine. So this is what we're doing here. I do, while everybody in meditation, some sound bath, different sounds, and sometimes drumming. Sometimes the channel will happen while you are in meditation as a beautiful message for connecting to your soul or in the journey. And I do healing energies while you are at meditations, and I play with the energies in here while nobody is seeing. Opening portals, bringing some things out, talk to the angels. Anyway, you can find me in Wellness on Instagram, in Wellness. And you can find me on Facebook as Inessa Tachalovzask. And the meditations are in a symbolic cost. It's for the energetic exchange mainly. And everybody is welcome to join. You just need to let us know ahead of time because the space is limited. That's it. And I hope I'll see you all who it calls to here with us soon.
Yes, thank you. Quickly, I wanted to, because to me, your son introduced you to me as a shaman, and I see you as a shaman. And so, like, is there anything that you can add to that, like for anybody that wants to know in regards to like what you label yourself as? I'm not a huge label person, but to tell people, yeah, I host meditations, like what would you call yourself to people?
You can say shaman if it feels good for you. I call myself a healer because I'm myself an osteopath. I have a DO as an osteopath. I have a big, vast knowledge in medicine, herbal medicine. I've been helping people for years before this happened to me by recommending them to take some certain herbs to help them with their specific health conditions for them and their families. And I've been doing it with people from all around the world. I can say healer. I will call it a spiritual guide in a way. But as I say, I don't prefer labels. Those who feel my energies and being called to it are being called, because those who are supposed to be in my path will find me, and vice versa. Those who are not will find somebody else. So as again, you get the life experience that you're seeking to get, and that your soul have resonated with the group of souls that is connected to their soul. Yeah. So eventually, again, we're all one, but if you have a journey to go through before you get to here, you will be in this journey, because I've heard of people who experience different things, different stuff, and then they found me and I helped them level up. So beautiful. So yeah, I will not label it, but because bottom line, we are all healers. For the joke, I call us the return of the covenant. And we all started somewhere, and we all gonna walk each other home. Yeah. And that's what we're here to do, with love and light. Yeah. With love and light. With love and light.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. To everybody listening, thank you. It has been it's been an honor listening to you. It's an honor just having you in my life, if I'm being honest. Thank you to everybody listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.